What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get into cryptocurrencies, gold and silver. Didn't I warn you ahead of time, a couple months back? Didn't I tell you recently that there's going to be a lot of volatility in the markets? You're going to see this. They're going to try to shake, in my opinion, speculators, amateurs, people who don't know no better. I don't think it's working. But nonetheless, we'll get into that here in just a second. You guys already know if you're going to look for a place to go buy some precious metals, I say give our friends over at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you are a first-time buyer into precious metals and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals at Money Metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. You guys know right now I'm having issues on Facebook, but I am here on Twitter. So come on over and join me here. So what do we see? We've seen the markets drop. Of course they did. It's getting close to election time. We saw gold, silver drop with it, and we saw cryptocurrencies. But now all of a sudden we're seeing gold, silver creep back up. Doesn't look like a lot, but earlier it just reset, so it was a little bit higher than this. But look, it's starting to get up. We're close to 1,900 bucks an ounce again, and silver's getting close to $24 an ounce again. All right, but look at this. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, already back up to 13,593, almost 13,600. Keep in mind, its 52-week high was just last week, or actually a few days ago, was $13,837. That was its high point for the past 52 weeks. It's almost gotten all of its losses back. It's working on it. It's getting there. We'll see. All right. So this is why I'm saying you can't watch the market every day. It will drive you crazy. You'll pull your hair out going insane trying to figure out and predict what these people are doing. That's why I tell you, if you're going to buy cryptocurrencies, pick which ones you like, put however much money in there you're willing to lose just in case, and then leave it alone and let it do its thing. All right, there's a window of opportunity, and I'm keeping an eye on that, okay? In addition to that, well, you guys, and a lot of you have asked me, hey, if you're thinking about buying cryptocurrencies, underneath this video is in the descriptions. Hit the show more. You'll see a link. It'll take you to a place where you can buy some cryptocurrencies. And a lot of people misunderstand this. They think, hey, if I want to buy Bitcoin, I have to have $13,593. No, you don't. You could buy fractionals. In other words, if you only want to buy $10 worth, you can. If you want to buy $20 worth, you can. You don't have to have the full $13,000 to jump on Bitcoin or any of these other cryptocurrencies, okay? So again, right now the big gainer is definitely, look at this, over here, Polkadot. They're up almost 3%, but Bitcoin is up 2% and Ethereum's up almost 2%. So not too shabby at all. Not any big jumps on, well, some, they're starting to rebound. I told you, look, this market goes up and down. You're going to see a lot of that between now and the end of the year. Definitely between now and election time, that's for sure. Once the election happens and we feel certain about who's in office, you'll definitely see the markets respond according to who they think is going to be in the Oval Office. But for now, I'm showing you, look, this happens all the time. It went down, and just like that, it's popped back up. And gold and silver will rebound just like that. But let's listen to something. I want you to listen to this gentleman, Peter Hug, speaking about something. It's a few minutes. I just want you to check it out and listen to what Peter has to say about the gold and silver market really quick.
Stock markets continue to tumble on Friday as equities are seeing their worst week since March. However, unlike Wednesday earlier this week, metals are rising instead of falling. Joining me to talk about trades is Peter Hug, Global Trading Director of Kitco Metals. Peter, welcome back.
Good to be here again, David.
You mentioned to me last time we spoke a few weeks ago that it's very difficult to trade this choppiness in precious metals. Well, we're seeing a lot of that this week. How would you be positioned going into the election next week?
If you're asking me from a reference as a trader, I'd be neutral. This market flat. There's just too many unknowns of what's going to happen Tuesday. You know, the first part is who's going to be the president. Second part is who's going to control the Senate and the House. Third part is, will we even know on Tuesday whether or not we have Trump for another 4 years or Biden wins the election? So there's just so much uncertainty out there that you would anticipate that people would move into gold. But I think, when the market is this uncertain, again, as I mentioned a few times over the past few weeks, the first sort of gut reaction is to liquidate assets, especially liquid assets, and to park some of your money into cash, just sort of as a hedge.
Yeah, we talked about this. You guys should have 6 months worth of bill money tucked away somewhere plus 10%. And when he said it's flat, it is flat. That's what I was telling you guys when we look at the market. And what I'm noticing was that they are running horizontal. I mean, it did drop down a little bit, but the truth of the matter is they tend to stay within the same highs and lows range. You know what I mean? The price range is pretty much the same. It doesn't go down very much, and it doesn't go up very much. In other words, it's going horizontal, so it's flat. People thought, oh, there's a lot of excitement on the cryptocurrencies, and so our concern was that people were selling the precious metals so they could kind of jump on this bandwagon of cryptocurrencies. Don't do that, because it'll cost you in the end. So this is what he's talking about. The investors think it's flat. It is flat. Okay, that's good for people who are trying to stack up. Keep stacking. This gives you some time and buys you a little time because the prices aren't really changing all that much. And as a matter of fact, since the markets drop, I consider that going on sale. Okay.
In case everything goes wrong on Tuesday.
Okay, so use cash as a hedge. That was my next question. What about investors who are more positioned for the long term? What should they be looking at?
If your investors in precious metals should not be liquidating their positions whatsoever. I mean, if you have.
Did you hear that? Investors in precious metals should not be liquidating at all. No panicking. Hang tight. Hang tight.
Have a core position in metals. I think you're going to do extremely well with that position through 2021. I think the major cycle in the gold bull and silver market is still in front of us. If you have not.
The bull market. Prices are going to keep going up. Remember I told you guys that the BIS moved gold from a tier 3 to a tier 1, which means they don't see any downside to silver in the future here. And that it's going to be considered on 100% of their books as an asset. This is good. So again, there's no downside to precious metals, people, at all. Compared to everything else, there is no downside, no matter who's in office. Okay? But nonetheless, like he said, you should not be liquidating at all.
Not allocated assets into precious metals, and you believe that there's a percentage that you're comfortable with, and again, let's pick sort of the old standard 10% number. If you don't have an allocation in the metals in part of your portfolio, I probably wouldn't throw all 10% in at this level until I had some clarity after the election. But I'd certainly have some exposure and, probably do it in thirds and maybe put 30, 33, 35% of your intended position into the metals market ahead of the election.
So what he's saying is for those of you who have not yet moved into precious metals, his recommendation is that you move somewhere between 30 and 35% of whatever your holdings are for your retirement into precious metals. I've been telling you guys that. That's what he's saying. You guys should be taking this position now before election time.
And then if something goes wrong and the stock market again takes a big hit and people move to cash and the metals go down accordingly, you'll have some powder to average down with the anticipation that no matter who wins this election in 2021, there is going to be a significant amount of stimulus that has to be added to this market to keep the economy going. And I think that'll be very bullish the metals in 2021.
Okay, so let's talk about the stock.
So that's what he's talking about. All right. So in 2021, regardless of what's going on, they're going to have to pump a lot of money into the economy. And because of that, you're going to see the bull market take effect on precious metals. And over the year 2021, you're going to see it go up and up and up. This is what I was talking about. But you just heard the man says, do not be liquidating any of your precious metals. And for those of you who have not yet made the move into precious metals, he's saying you should be moving before the election 30 to 35% of your holdings into precious metals just in case. I just wanted to share that with you. And if you're thinking about it, of course, you know, go to Money Metals. All right, you guys, so that's the update for now. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.